Hey, what's up, Will?
How's it going?
Just been talking about. I haven't been harassed or anything. Just
okay.
talking about the whole everything of like whether buskers will be affected by this, whether it will be able to set up down there or not.
Well, the Busker shouldn't be affected by it because, like, I went down to the city. I went to the heads of the park. I went to Venus Molina. I went to Jen Campbell. I went to City Council, talked to Todd Gloria's staff, and they all assured me that they wrote into the code, and I have the part where they wrote into it that says that First Amendment rights are accepted from this vendor code. And so the memorandum or none of that shouldn't affect us at all. So if they end up enforcing it on us, then we're going to have a civil rights lawsuit.
What was it that ended the busker permit system?
Me. Like, I literally wrote them and showed them where other cities had been sued over having. Yeah.
That answers that question.
Was there a court case or no?
Not here, because I told them that, you know, if any one of us ended up going to court, we'd just sue them because it's already been proven at the federal level that they can't do that's prior restraint to free speech. Because free speech says that no one can make you get a license for free speech. You know, you don't need to have any kind of permit or anything. It's already there. It's called the Constitution. And so when they throw out these arbitrary laws, it says, oh, well, blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. And then they say, well, you have to have this permit, or you need a license, or you need that. No, that's not the case, because in the First Amendment, it flat out says you cannot require prior restraint to free speech.
What about the so-called fire lane down there on the Prado Strip?
Well, from what I've talked to from the city says that they never authorized it. I've talked to several different groups, and the only person that actually told me that it was authorized by the fire chief has been the heads of Balboa Park. I can't get a hold of the actual fire chief himself. Every time I've tried to call through the fire department and everything, I get the runaround, bounced from one department to another. I've gone through the National Coalition of Resolutions, and they did all the bouncing around and ended up with me meeting with the leaders of Balboa, or the heads of Balboa Park, the president, vice president, and assistant vice president.
So if I set up on the street or on the grass, I should be fine, right? Would it be?
Well, they don't want you on the grass because they don't have enough people to maintain it, is what they were telling me. But I very much expressed that, you know, regardless, it's still a First Amendment zone, and that if they don't want people in the grass, then they need to have zones along that area, at least on one side or the other. There's no need for a mile-long fire lane or a block-long fire lane or whatever. And also, again, it wasn't approved by city planning, and city planning has to approve things like that. So it's not even a legal fire lane based on what the city courts have said.
So unless I'm like totally obstructing.
Yeah, like the whole point is not the main thing is they don't want it wall-to-wall people, and then people tripping over stuff, and then a fire truck needs to get through, and then they can't, you know?
That's what was explained to me. That
Yeah.
We couldn't get an apparatus through the first time that a fire chief came with his family.
Well, that's because all the overabundance of vendors. Like the buskers, like most of us have common sense. There's a couple of them that don't, but most of us have common sense. Like people have been saying on the page, the break dancers have been kind of upsetting everyone, because like their crowds actually go out from one end to the other, and they don't control it, and then they blast music so loud other people can't perform.
Yeah, that's true.
And I even reached out to them and tried to say, hey, can you work with these guys on this? And I didn't get a response from them, but they posted a video the next day after seeing what I wrote. And in the video, they're shooting a gun at a target, and they're all like, don't mess with us, nerds. I don't know that that's a threat, but felt like a threat to me. Like, they could have been just being silly on video and not even really included me in that. But like, my brain was just like, well, that's weird. especially since none of their other posts have guns or anything like that.
Because there's no more permit system for buskers here, there should be no reason restricting us from setting up. in
Other
any spot,
than
right?
they want to make it to where there's spots rather than we just show up and take anywhere we want to. They've been telling me they want to make it spots, like keep us away from some of the picturesque things so that people can take pictures of them, stuff like that. But I'm still trying to work with them to get it to where, you know, like I said, we have at least one side of the Prado, because that's where we've been since, and I say I hardly ever busk here, but that's where the buskers have been since busking was allowed here.
81,
Yeah, 81, yeah, that's a long time.
Well, 81, that's when they started doing the from my understanding, that's when they started doing the permit process.
Mhm.
That's why we never charged for the permit, is the only reason they did it was to regulate time, place, and manner, because buskers were fighting each other.
And I understand that. The main thing, the problem with the permit, though, is that it was set up to where you had to be there Saturday in the morning, and then one guy would go pay 5 of his friends, and they would all get permits, and then the actual buskers wouldn't. And then a lot of buskers, like, they pop up and they travel around town and do different spots, and so like
You'd see 'em once
it's
or
not
twice in a month.
reasonable to go get a permit when you only show up at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon for an hour. And so like that's another reason why I fought for it. But like I understand the fighting problem. Like
Yep. And I was so thrilled when they said, "Oh yeah, no more permits." I'm like, good,
yeah.
good.
So if I do have a ranger come over and say I can't be here, whether I'm here or down there, am I able to contact you? Like, who can I talk to so that I don't have to like just get a citation for something I shouldn't be getting a citation for, or threatened with that, or have my tent like all packed up when I'm away to take a snack break or just walk around?
By the way, what's your name, sir?
Ramon,
Ramon, nice to meet
Nice
you.
to
William
meet you.
Dorsett. I'm sure you've heard about me.
did you send us a meter?
A
Or was
meter?
that someone else?
A meter?
Oh yeah.
Like, what do
Okay.
you mean meter?
Then it was someone else.
Okay.
We got.
Oh yeah, I know. I've heard about that. Somebody told me on the page they were going to send y'all a meter so
Yes.
y'all could check people.
Yes.
Oh, for like amplification
Yeah.
levels or something.
Yeah. That was,
That's actually pretty nice of them.
it was very nice of them. Freaked people out though.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
But yeah, to answer my question,
Yeah. That's a good one. I need I guess talk to the head honcho.
can I have your number so I could contact you if someone comes over? And because you know I'm allowed to be here doing this.
Yeah. So that's the ranger duty line at the bottom, and that's my information.
The duty line? Okay.
Yeah. So I only work 4 days a week, and so other shifts work 4 days a week. So our combined days are Wednesdays.
Okay.
So some people work Sunday through Wednesdays, and we work Wednesdays to Saturdays. So there's coverage here 7 days a week. From 7 to 7, someone should be monitoring the duty line, which is a old desk line in an office that we figured out a way to forward it to our cell phones, living in the 21st century. So we're probably the only ranger unit that actually picks up our phone, and there's a live person there instead of getting a recording.
Yeah, okay.
So so we answer a lot of questions, especially when it comes to like permits for like sunset for marriages. That's a different number they gotta call, but we always get phone calls on the weekends for that. So yeah, but yeah, if something happens like that, I'll try to spread the word regarding you and see what's going on. But like I said, everything here is new. Today's the 22nd? Today is when the ordinance officially went through. So like I said, the month before, we were trying to do educational awareness and hey, just go grab a permit and do all that stuff. And then they tell us, oh yeah, by the way, there's a summer moratorium for vendors in Balboa Park. I'm like, okay. So then that's when they showed us a map. I'm like, hey, I hope things red. So I'm like, okay. And then like I said, today we had a meeting with the health department on how to recognize what's what color the permit is for this year, which is orange, and then what things if they're selling food. I think that was the main concern for the vendor ordinance was the food. They want a lot of people weren't getting health permits, and so it's like you're rolling the dice on people's health, and so. Then at that point, you don't have a First Amendment for nothing because now you're affecting someone else. So I think that's today we had a good meeting. It was about an hour long regarding different types of permits, the A, and then the mobile A, and then all the other stuff that they were doing. So I'm like, oh, that's good knowledge. And then they were talking about encouraging because they're short-staffed as well. Everybody's short-staffed within the government agencies. Because of COVID, people rolled over and took off and went somewhere else. So they're trying to get more inspectors. That way, I think during Comic-Con, we're supposed to go down to Comic-Con and make sure the sidewalk vendors aren't walking in.
Yeah, that's why I'm here now. I'm trying to make sure that we aren't affected at Comic-Con because I've been doing it since 2007, 2008, somewhere in there, and like
Sidewalks are public, right?
Yeah, Sidewalks Republic. I've been doing the grassy knoll on MOK since, like I said, 2008, doing live spray paint, all Comic-Con related stuff, and people just love me. Like,
right.
Yeah, and so like I'm making sure that we're protected now before that happens because like if not, like
I said, right now the concentration was on the food stuff.
Okay.
Just because it was a health and safety issue, and so.
And I'm 100% with that. Just as long as you don't mess with the buskers and the artists, like I'm all good. Like that's the main thing. I'm out. That's the only reason I'm even here today. Like I've been getting calls all day. They're going to bother us. They're going to get us. And like I even like I said, I went through a lot of trouble to make sure they wrote in that protection in there.
Good.
And so I just want to make sure that that they're keeping their word on that and everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate that.
No, yeah.
I was given a citation a few years ago, and threatened with jail if I didn't sign the citation and all that. Basically, 2 or 3 rangers and a cop, and it was during Food Truck Fridays, during which I was told the whole Prado was privatized, which wasn't true. So I ended up writing a letter to the Citizens Board for the police. I met up with a couple of police officers. They told me my citation would be
removed,
thrown out, and that I wouldn't be getting harassed by rangers again, that they'd inform all the rangers and the police who patrol this park. And then, of course, a couple of years pass, and new rangers that act like cops, and just back to the same old thing. So that's why I'm concerned about this just continuing to happen over and over again.
Oh, I know, and I'm going to be worried about because right now we're hiring. So it takes about 2 years to train a ranger to learn the job. Realistically, you can't just have us start the first day and boom, let's go. No. You got to learn how to properly talk to someone, how to properly, and all the historical stuff of the park. It's got to be. It's a time-consuming thing. And from my understanding, once the mayor signed that budget, we're supposed to be allocating another 13 new rangers to be able to go citywide, to be able to help out because we're so short-staffed. But I'm realistically, you can't just hire someone and just send them out there. They got to go through the training. So I'm looking forward to see what their training is going to be, because everybody needs to be done consistently and have the idea of how to properly talk to people. Because there's a certain way that you talk to people if you're in a secluded area, like in a canyon, and you're like, hey, you're in the canyon and you're destroying all these plants, they're worth a lot of money, you can't be here, than to talking to someone out in public. so yeah, there's a whole thing, and it's one of those things that's kind of hard to do because we wear many hats. I've had to fight a fire. I have had to go do a rescue off a cliff using the winch on my truck when the fire department requested it. So, we do a lot of stuff. I do historical walks, which we're trying to get them done on Sunday now because we had stopped for a while.
I think one of the most important things, though, that a lot of rangers don't seem to know is the difference between vending and busking.
Yes.
and what First Amendment rights include in a public park like this.
Yes.
Because a lot of rangers are like, oh, just prove it in court later, without knowing like that we should just all be lumped into this one thing that they consider a
Correct.
criminal act.
So I'm gonna head. Well, once I get lunch, because I've been wanting to get lunch this whole time. Once I get lunch, I can head back to the office, print out the whole thing, and then highlight that one and send it to you.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's an easy thing to do. And then talk to the chief today because I know he's out and about.
Chief's Andy, or is that Michael?
It's Michael.
Michael, yes, I've met him. Met him, Andy, and Christina.
Nice. So yeah, that way everybody's on the same page. And yeah.
Did you snap any photos of this, and would you like to? Share
I
this as
could,
well?
yeah. I was just gonna keep it.
Is that the thing that I've been giving out, or? Nice. I need to print out a copy for myself and laminate it.
You guys have an email?
They know how to get a hold of me. Just tell them that you spoke to William Dorsett, and they.
Oh no. I meant this would be great if you had like a QR code that went straight to this, so people, if they don't have a printed out one, they can have it on their phone.
That's a good idea. I'll look into doing that.
I've been talking to everybody about, hey, the sidewalk vendor stuff. We should have a QR code. They finally came out with one. And I'm like,
Yeah, just make it easy.
Well, this is way better than what I was expecting when you were all like, "Hurry up, get down here."
I was worried. I mean,
You were
I saw
worried
a lot of
about me?
rangers, like patrolling.
Well, he was just worried, period, because it was completely empty. No buskers, nothing, you know.
Buskers
And
are vending.
yeah, which is kind of surprising.
I think
I
everybody's
hope-
scared. I think
Yeah,
that's what it
everybody's
is.
scared.
Because, like, a lot of us aren't very sociable, let's
Yes.
put it.
I know.
And so, like, they're very timid. And, like, just to be able to come out and do their little performance and stuff is...
It's brave.
Yeah, exactly.
No, yeah.
But
Makes you
when
fear.
you have, you might get messed with by a cop or something like that. All of a sudden, it turns that from a 6 to a 20.
Yeah.
And so a lot of them just don't have the temperament. I was like just nervous the whole, but like I've done this for years, but my nerves were just still wired and on fire.
Yeah.
And
And it's one of those things where, like for me, I get it. Different people act to different things, but it's like I'm a human being who just happens to wear a uniform that happens to have a badge on it.
mm-hmm.
I have kids, I have family, I want them to be good. All I'm trying to do is to make sure that this place is taken care of for the future generations to come, and and try to help as much as I can. So that's it.
good.
But not everybody has that mentality.
Mm-hmm.
You got the ones that are trained a certain way, and they're like, "Oh,